There we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I was like, okay, I don't know if we're actually streaming right now. If we are, hello. It still says, oh, redirecting me to YouTube. That's fun. As the page loads, and let me just mute this stream so we don't get any. Oh, it started. Surely did. Let me just send this to the VL and then woohoo.
Hey guys.
Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to the Wheel of Terror finale. Jurors, please stay off camera and muted until it is your turn to speak. Thank you. So let's see. Finalists will have 7 minutes for opening speeches. Each juror will have 10 minutes for any questions and whatnot, and then there'll be 7 minutes for closing speeches. John, as the final head of household, has decided that Vicky will speak first for opening, so we will get right into this. Vicky, you may start.
Hello, guys. It's good to see you guys again. I first and foremost want to say that it has been an absolute pleasure playing with all of you, and that honestly, at the beginning of this game, I said, I want to do the best, and as long as I'm still here and I can still fight, I would have done what I set myself out to do. I've been truthful this entire game with everybody that I've spoken to, and if at the end of our time together I stopped talking or if I just left, it's not anything personal. It's more about me just needing some time to like digest, because I don't know if this has been I don't know. Sorry. I have been truthful with everybody that I've voted out and everything that I've done this entire game. And again, at the beginning of the season, I said that I will just hold myself to the best of my abilities and play a game that I am proud of, and also play a game that I would be happy saying that I played. In terms of what I've done this season, I have survived the block 5 times, receiving only 2 votes against me. I was able to talk to people and flip votes so that everything would go according to put myself in a better position and put the other people in a better position as well. I've kept all of my promises, and yeah, I've been able to play a game that I'm happy with. And I am open to any questions. I honestly answer it truthfully, but I've been truthful this entire game. So if you have any questions, if you have any problems with me, please just let me know and I will clear those up and we can go from there. But again, thank you all for playing such an amazing game, for being here, and for just honestly giving me a really nice time and a break from everything that has been going on in my personal life. You guys are all amazing, and I'm here to answer your questions truthfully. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. John, the floor is yours. Your time will start when you start speaking.
All right. Good evening. Thank you very much, Prod. Thank you, jury. Congratulations, Vicky, on being here in the final 2 as well. It's definitely an accomplishment that is not an easy task to do. From the beginning, I wanted to try and play a under the radar game as much as I possibly could. However, I had to then throw that game right out the window once I won the very first veto of the game. And then people were immediately starting to see me as a comp beast, which I then did continue to win multitude of HOHs and veto. So from there, it was trying to figure out, well, how do I manage my threat level? And how do I manage to continue to make sure that I stay off of the block? Because I know that if I'm on the block at the end of any time that I'm there, I could be going home just because of people conceiving that threat level of me. So from when I won the week 2 HOH, I made sure to not burn too many bridges. I spoke with both of the people that I put up on the block and made sure that they realized why exactly they're up there. And I let them know also that there was a backdoor plan in place when I put them up there. So when everything happened, I went and I did what was needed for the house, and I took Tanner out because Tanner had controlled the narrative of week 1 and had created a whole bunch of chaos that the house really didn't need at that point. And I didn't really need at that point either, because Tanner was latching himself onto me as well. So with Tanner gone, that takes a big target off of my back. From there, I made sure to stay tight with a lot of people. I did not guarantee any final 2 deals until the first time that I was on the block due to the safety chain. And that's when I made a final 2 deal with Allison. I had promised to go far with people, but I had never promised to go all the way to the end with people. From there, I managed to make sure that I was always true to my word to people. If I said I was going to do something, I did it. And I made sure that the people that I wanted out were going out for legit reasons. I never made any sort of personal move to go at anybody personally. Any move that I made was purely strategic in game. I realized that early on that Mac was going to be a huge force, because I realized that Mac was also going to be somebody that was going for the humor button like I was. Mac, your PowerPoint presentations early on were getting everybody to laugh and enjoy you around. And not only that, but you were realizing exactly what was going on in the game and what people were connected with others. So even though you may not have seemed a threat to others, I realized very early on, Mac, that you were going to be a huge person to watch out for. And so I knew that having you in my headlights to make sure that I knew where you were at all times was going to benefit my game. Going into the latter half of the game, I won when I needed to, but I also made sure that I was connecting with people to make deals when I needed to as well. When I was HOH and I put Sam and Alex up on the block, I made a deal with Alex right in the beginning, not after veto or anything like that, but I made those deals right away. So that way people knew that these deals were going to be legit. And I held true to my word. And that actually pretty much swayed the fact that Alex stayed that round. Also, I apologize if it starts going dark. I'm currently in the passenger seat driving right now. No, we're good. That'll distract me. But anywho, continuing on. I knew once we got to Final 5 and it was myself and Allison on the block that unfortunately our duo was coming to an end. I never threw you under the bus, Allison. I only just made it so that way I would present my game forward. I approached Alex and made sure that the deal that I had made originally with him would then come full circle. Then if it had tied, that Alex would keep me. And I ended up saying 2-0 on that vote. From there, I won when I needed to. I won the final 4 HOH, and I won parts 2 and 3 of the final HOH. Those 2 were the most crucial ones, I feel, especially in my game, because that showed that I had major game awareness. Because part 2 was extreme before or after with some insane questions. I'm sure Alex could attest to you that. And then part 3 was all jury questions, even though it was 2 truths and a lie, which I absolutely hate. I managed to get 5 out of the 8 questions correct to show that I actually do know the jury very well.
You're 5 minutes in.
All right. So again, I thank you all very much, and I look forward to getting any questions from you all, and we'll address any part of my game that you guys want addressed.
Oh, I meant you had 2 minutes left if you wanted them.
No, we're good. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. So the first juror who will address you guys by request will be Sam. So Sam, your 10 minutes will start when you start talking.
Hello, guys. First of all, congratulations to both of you. You guys have done incredibly well to get this far. It was a cracked, crazy game with thousands of twists. And I really enjoyed playing with both of you at different points. So that was really good fun for me. But no, John, come to start with you. Is that all right? Can you speak?
Let's rock and roll.
Hello. Yeah, as you just said, you played a really, really good physical game. A lot of the jury didn't see much of a social game from you. And I know from my perspective, a lot of times I would be left on red when I ask you things, even early on in the game. And then obviously I'd see you around messaging in other chats. So I knew you were on Skype, but you were just actively ignoring what I was saying and just leaving it on red. And I just want to know, what was the strategy behind doing that?
If I left people on red, it was purely by accident a lot of times. Unfortunately, I got a lot of my Skype messages all wonderfully conjumbled. Doing the wonderful thing of hosting and playing at the same time, I ended up having 99 messages open at a time. So trying to then cipher through all of my unread messages. So when I actually did go back to people and say, I really apologize that I actually missed that, I honestly, truly did miss that. And then and I would respond to people. If I forgot something, then I apologize profusely for failing to respond to a message. And that was definitely something that I needed to fix. And maybe trying to do multitasking like that came back to bite me a bit. There were some people, that I wasn't exactly the most social with, but I was also very wary of what I was telling people, because I know in the past that has come back to bite me, especially if we look what happened early on, people were spreading things, and what was that doing? Is just putting them right into the limelight. So I was trying to also stay low with whatever information that I was putting out there to make sure that it wasn't coming back to me. They're saying, hey, you want to throw this person out under the bus. But in fact, I was actually keeping things tight within my alliances and making sure that what we wanted to do was actually going to happen.
Okay, no, I really appreciate that. No, it does make a lot of sense. As you know, at the same time, I had a load of crazy chats as well. So I do understand how manic it could get. For me and a few others, it just came across a bit frustrating on our parts, because we would message and then we wouldn't get anything back. And especially for me, as I'll see you in other chats active, I'll be like, what's going on? But no, thank you for clearing some of that up. Vicky, obviously we played some of this game together. But even saying that, I don't know much about your game and what strategic moves you made. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that for me?
Yeah, of course. Well, very early on, in the first vote, I knew that if I wanted to keep Barton, which I really did because I really wanted to play the game with Barton, if I wanted to keep Barton, there was somebody that I would need to switch and be able to do it. Because even though everybody says, oh, the first one didn't really matter. Yes, it did. Like the first vote, I've heard multiple times being said, it didn't really matter. Like it didn't really do much for people's game. But I don't believe that. I believe that the first vote was like the precipice of what was going to come for the game. And in that first vote, I was able to get Xander to switch over from voting with John, with Allison, to keep Keaton. I was able to get him to switch and vote to keep Barton, so to vote Keaton out. And then I was also able to talk to Kevin when the Nick vote was happening, and I apologize. Yeah, when the Nick vote was happening, I was able to talk to Kevin and get him to 100% vote for Nick to leave that round. I've played an actual very under the radar game, as you've known. I haven't won any challenges. I never put anybody up on the block, but my social game, I've been truthful and I've been like, I want this person out. And even though, yes, John and Allison had the power this entire game, basically, to put people up and to be able to decide who was going home, really the power laid between everybody that was actually voting. And I have voted correctly every single time except one. And in that, I threw my vote. And that was voting you voting for you to stay between Alex and you, I was the one vote because I wanted Alex to either look at John or look at Casey and be like, I cannot trust one of these two people. And in the end, it worked out because Alex kept me over keeping Casey. So yeah, but other than that, I have played very under the radar, but my connections with everybody and just being able to talk to everybody really is what cemented me. So yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's all for me. I just want to say both of you have played really, really good games, very different games from each other. But both your games have merit, and so it's going to be a very, very interesting night. So I'll see you guys later. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Okay, Casey has requested to go next. So Casey, your 10 minutes will start when you start talking.
You were the vote and I knew it. You literally, I clocked it immediately. No one messaged me the entire game during a vote besides that one vote. And it was Vicky who messaged me and I said, this bitch just put a target on my back, and I knew it was you. And like, sorry, the crazy thing is that I had thrown 2 votes before, one to vote out Mac when it was 6-2, and then one to vote out you when it was 3-1. And I framed other people for that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting framed. I feel like you definitely played the game that I was literally playing, but you made it here. Congratulations. I know I've talked with some of the jurors. Alex told me with that first part of the HOH comp that I guess if it was between you and him and like you were actually doing it for endurance, he would have thrown it to you. And I'm like, why? I don't think you were ever taking Alex to the end. Am I right? Or would you have taken him to the final 2?
I had a very big decision to make if I would have won that final 2. My game with Alex really consisted of, I think it was like week 3, I made a promise to Alex that I would get him past the best placement that he's had, which is final 6. And really that's not been my entire game, but that was like a very good driving force to me. So if I would have won that final 3, I had a very big decision because it was either take John, and I told this to John. I was like, I wish that I could tell you that you were my final 2, but I cannot promise you that at all. Because it was either take John, that we've had totally different games, that he's been basically a comp beast and I have just been here. Well, not been here because I've done things, but like just like more under the radar things, or take Alex, which has been my number 1 ally. And then it was also a thing of, if I take my number 1 ally again, like if I take my number 1 ally over somebody that has a different game to me, what would jury think? Because people would think that I'm playing the same game that I've played before. And I really had a big decision. I probably would have, if I'm totally honest, but I was also like thinking of just taking John because John and I have different games. I just want people to know my game. And I think with Alex, they would have at least given me a chance to explain my game a little better.
Cool. And then what's crazy is that you wanted to get him to his best placement, and you did that while also voting him out at that same time, like at that placement. And you don't know this, but like me and Sam ended up, like, we made a final 2 at final 8. Like, if I knew that Sam was staying, like I would have voted to keep Sam. And I think that really would have changed my game a lot. So mad respect to you for all of that fucking craziness, because you are doing stuff, even though you've been on the block, even though you weren't able to compete for the most amount of competitions other than Nick. Like, I don't fucking understand it, but yeah. So I don't really have any more questions for you. For John, I think that obviously we know that you're a beast. I know that you were socially aware enough to make deals and stuff, but I don't know. Like, why should I vote for you to win the game? as someone who we kind of were allies, but we also didn't talk a lot. And
I mean, so Casey,
Yeah.
you and I have had the most interesting history, as I can pretty much easily say. We've been rivals in past games. We managed to talk well during this previous game that we were in until I went out on something, I don't know.
crazy. Yeah.
Some crazy thing happened. But then this game, we were put together, and I enjoyed getting to work with you. And I know, you didn't get to play the game that you wanted to play, but you and I, when it came time to literally talk any sort of strategy, we knew exactly what we needed to do. Let's go back to the Barton, when Michael Barton went out. You and I both realized that Michael Barton would have come after us, and I realized keeping Barton around was not exactly the best for my game. Even though it pissed off my number one ally, it made it so that way I was going to take out one other person that was going to put me up on the block. And that was the main thing, is I needed to eliminate those people that were going to put me up. And then that's where, when Sam put me up during the pairs round, I had heard from a couple different people that had the vote been tied, that Sam would have taken me out. That's, of course, why I'm going to take Sam out from there. Sam was playing a huge strategic game, even though Sam was trying to downplay that. So taking out Sam over Alex, even though Alex was a better competitive person, because we saw what Alex was able to do in some of these competitions. A freaking minute 7 on that House of Cards. Taking out Sam, the bigger strategic threat, was what was needed to be done. I never ever gave up in situations. I had never built a House of Cards before to save my life. My balance and stuff like that is absolute shit. So trying to keep a shaky hand still and not giving up for 43 minutes just to show that I can actually do it, that's the determination that I had in this game. I was always willing to show that I'm there for people, and for if they needed that helping hand, that I would be there for them. You and I, when we didn't have the most of talks, but when we had talks, they were always productive talks. Because I know I wasn't always the most social person, and I realized that people don't always want to have the little itty bitty talks all the time. And if you wanted to have that with me, I was always down to have some great talks. But when it came to being aware of who was the dangerous people, I made sure that the dangerous people were going home.
All right. I don't think I have any other questions. I think that's all that I have. Good luck to both of you. You guys all played amazing. The Wheel of Terror has been cracked, so yeah.
Thank you, Casey. Next up, we have Wesley. Wesley, your time will begin when you start talking.
I'm having weird tech errors right now, but I think I figured it out, so I don't have too much to say right now. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Okay, I think I've gotten enough of an impression from listening to you guys speak and talking to the jurors and all that of who I want to vote for right now. But I just have a question for Vicky. You're a very social player, very likable, very impressive. The thing I want to know is how much of that social game was like deliberate efforts of trying very hard just with yourself, or was it just who you naturally are?
Genuinely, it's just naturally who I am, especially in these settings, like in these games. It's just who I am. I really like talking to people and getting to know them and getting to see the games that they've played and how I can help them and how they can possibly help me. I don't expect anything in return. And I'm gonna say something that might damage my game, but I normally play games I do my best playing games for other people and for helping them and just being there for them if they need anything, really. But yeah, it's just who I am, really. If you see me in any other games, it's the exact same. So yeah.
That's all I need to know. I think I'm done for now, and I do have to leave, unfortunately. I have stuff going on, so I'm just going to cast my vote and just head out. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Wes.
Okay, thank you, Wesley. Sorry, I was figuring out my timer there. Okay, next up we have Barton, who's, wow, you're prepared. Cool. Timer will start when you start speaking.
Hi guys, I just want to first and foremost congratulate the both of you on being there. Obviously, I've been to one final two in my games, and I know how difficult it can be, regardless of, if you're in position of power or if you have to use your social game to get yourself there. I know it's tough. I'm gonna, I guess, lead my questions the same way the game was treated by the two of you. And so it doesn't mean I'm voting one way or the other, but and I don't know if it's, as you kind of said, Vicky, the first get vote kind of did draw a line in the sand that was very frustrating for me in my game. And I don't know, John, if that's what led to you to not want to talk to me or the communication was there, but for that purpose, I don't really have any questions for you. For Vicky, what do you think, I guess, and not necessarily from your perspective, what do you think the best move in the game was? Just in general.
The best move in the game. Honestly, I think that the best move of the game was the I'm gonna say that the best move of the game was when nope, I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank because all of the moves this season have been either very under the radar or very good. Yeah. I don't have a specific move that I can tell you. I apologize.
All right. And then how about for your game itself? What do you think is the best, or if there's one place you can point to that got you to the end, whether it was a round or what got you there, what was that?
Honestly, having keeping my best move of the season was just keeping that alliance with Alex very strong, which helped me get further because Alex was always my shield. They would always, people would rather get Alex out than get me out. So I think that's been like my best move, which encompasses like my whole game, just always having that shield in front of me.
Sure. And Inoga, going back to you being honest at the beginning of the game, one of the things that I think you and I both said, because it was very obvious at that point when we were both up, it was one of the two of us going, and looks like it, it sounds like it flipped to me at the last second.
It did.
And you said that you were going to be out for blood and you were going to get to the end, and you did. So I'll give you props to that. So that's all I have. Good luck to the both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barton. Next up, we have Nick. Okay, Nick, your time will start when you start speaking.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations on making it to the end. I'm still not sure what to ask, but we're gonna just go with it. I guess I'll start with Vicky. Vicky, I wanna play it back a little bit. There was a moment like round 2 or 3, and I'm like, Vicky, you're giving me side eye. What's with the side eye? And you're like, no, nothing's going on. Let's play it back. What did you really want to say, Vicky?
I wanted to say that honestly, I I think it was round 3. I don't even remember who we were voting out. No, it was when I was on the block with Xander. No, actually, let's go back. Let's go when John put me up, or John did a move and put 2 people up, and I went to you being like, oh, it's frustrating. And you told me, oh, John doesn't need to tell you anything because he didn't even work with you, and you voted like you didn't vote with him. So why would he tell you something? That was like the first thing that I was like, Nick, really? And then it was when I was on the block against Xander and I was asking for you and Alex's help, and you said, well, wherever, it was something along the lines of, well, wherever the cards lie, that's all you, bestie. You're going to be the one that needs to fight for yourself. Like, we're not going to do anything. And that really just rubbed me the wrong way. And ever since then, I'm like, Nick is not on my side. Nick would prefer to work with Allison and John than he would with Alex and I. So that's where I was like, I'm not going to tell anything to Nick because I don't know what Nick is saying to other people. And I just kept everything very close chested. And yeah, if I just stopped talking to you, it's because I knew that you were not going to help me get further in this game. And why would I? Like, we can be cordial and everything, and you can tell me everything. I'm just not going to tell you what I actually did.
Valid. John,
Hi, Nick.
unlike a lot of other people, I did have a decent amount of conversations with you. I did kind of know where your head was at for most of this game. So I want you to kind of highlight some of the things you did socially that maybe people didn't get to see.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I reached out with everybody early on in the game, and I was able to tell who was wanting to actually make these connections with me. Barton, I'm sorry you and I had never really connected. I mean, from what I had heard, the things were still raw from previous game, and that things were raw from round 1. But things are a two-way street. Anytime that people did actually talk to me, I actually did respond. It might not have been within 5 minutes or anything like that, but I did respond to people. And so, I mean, I did get to have some really good quality conversations with people. Vicky and I managed to have some good conversations towards the end. Even though we weren't together throughout pretty much the whole first half of the game, the back part of the game, Vicky and I were tight together. You and I, we were pretty much tight right from day one. The two of us had never played together a day in our org lives, and that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to reach out and play with people that I had never played with, or people that I really hadn't gotten to really get along with before. And that's where getting to work with Casey. And so I didn't work more in one-on-ones as much as I probably should have, but in the alliance chats that I was in, we always had some good laughs, and we were always going to be having lots of fun together. I was always going to make sure that people were laughing whenever I was on a Zoom call. I managed to make it so that way people actually thought that I had legit broken my leg when I was just trying to just be a complete dipwad. And just showing the pictures to the chat from when I had broken my leg 5 years ago. It was always going to be the one to just try and bring the humor. And that's always something that I always try and embrace in every game that I play, because these are games. If you want to try and make them personal and have personal attacks with people and things like that, then it's no longer a game. It's no longer fun. Yes, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, but as long as you're having fun with it, and as long as I'm having fun with it, then it's going to be a fun time for everyone.
Okay. To close, I want you both to say why we should vote for the other person. Whoever wants to go.
I can go first, Don. Like, why should John win or me?
Yeah.
Honestly, John has had an amazing game. Like, he's here for a reason. He was able to win everything, and honestly, he did manage his threat level pretty well, and he had better social relationships with the people that he needed to have social relationships with at the time. So even though, like, no, not even though, but he has just had an amazing game, and he fought his way to be in this position right now, and that I've always said that I admire John so much for his tactical game and his physical game and just how he is as a person, because he's just one giant teddy bear and he's amazing.
Vicky, I will say, has played an immense under the radar game. Not only has she played an under the radar game, people that she lined herself up with were going to be bigger threats. So even if she was paired up against them, the bigger threat was always going to be the one to go home before she was. And that's key. Simple enough.
Thank you both. Good luck. I adore you both as people, and we'll see who wins.
Thank you, Nick. So next up, we have Kevin.
All right.
Kevin, you're-
Hello, final two. I mean, I will say right off the bat, this is definitely not the final two I would have expected in this game, but I think both of you played really interesting games. And like a lot of the jury has alluded to, very different games overall. But for me, it's all about a story. I want to hear what your story was in this game. And considering this game is called Wheel of Terror, I think the best possible way to get that story is I want each of you to pinpoint the most terrifying moment that happened in your game, the thing that could have potentially ended your game, and what you did to recover from that and get yourself sitting here. And either of you can start.
I know exactly the moment that it was for me. It was when we had the safety chain. And in the safety chain, first time around, I wasn't picked. I knew at that moment I was nobody's first, second pick. So at that point, I realized I needed to adjust my game to make sure that people had me in their corner. So I made sure to really solidify deals with Allison, make sure that I was still good with Casey. I was continuing to talk more with Mac, even though Mac I knew was going to be the threat that I needed out. I was still talking with Sam, even though Sam, I know on occasions we lost track here or there. Alex, I always make sure to have Alex in the back of my mind also, because as soon as Alex came off of the comp withdrawal, he was going to start beasting those comps, and we were going to need to take care of that sooner rather than later. And Kevin, we were part of a strong alliance there until you decided to flip on that alliance, and that's where the demise happened right after that, unfortunately. But it was that exact safety chain that I saw that eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Sorry, John, you had to go. And from there, I made sure to put power into my own hands. If people weren't going to help me, I needed to help me.
All right, Vicky.
The moment that I felt the most scared of was honestly in the Xander vote, because there was so many people that were rooting for him to stay. There were so many people that actually wanted him to stay. And I really had to buckle down and just talk more to people, because honestly, I didn't promise anything to anybody, but I told you that I would play the game for other people and to be able to help other people get as far as they are, or as far as I could, basically. And everybody thought that by voting Xander out, it would detriment my game and it would be a handicap for me, which honestly, no, that opened up my game, because Xander being voted out helped me get closer to Alex, helped me do everything. But like that moment when I knew that people were not on my side and that people would want to keep him over I knew that I had to change something, and that I had to talk to people, and I stayed by a vote of 10-0. So I did something right there. Yeah.
All right. Well, if I'm being honest, I thought that this answer I'd come in here and now I'd have a better idea of who to vote for, but I still don't fucking know, because I think both of you played really strong games. So keep fighting. You're both doing a great job. And my vote's very up in the air at this point. So we will see what ends up happening, but good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Kevin. Mac, are you able to go right now?
I can.
Okay, Mac, you are up then, and your time will start when you start speaking. I love it.
Hello. First of all, I just want to congratulate both of you. I think both of you have played very different and very fun games. I think no matter which of you two wins, I think you both represent the season very well. I think in terms of power in comp wins, that would be John, and power in making sure it's not you going home and make sure you can like lower your threat level by while also still being a social threat. I feel like that would go to Vicky. So I'm just gonna have one simple question for both of you to answer. If you could replace if you could replace yourself with someone else on the jury who you feel like deserves to win, or you just like really feel like they should be in the final two, who would they be and why? We'll start with John just because alphabetically.
Is it just one or both, or either
Just
or?
one. Just replace yourself with someone in the jury.
Because it's a double. There's two ways that I can say this. Because easily I could say Allison, because Allison was playing the exact game that I was. But honestly, I thought, and I keep saying this, but it's you. You were the other person that was playing such an underrated game. You knew exactly what was going on, and you and I had talks. You were ready for the second half of the game in terms of comps. You had notes galore, ready to exploit everything in competitions. And I don't think anybody else realized that. People weren't expecting you to just all of a sudden snap and just start taking people out one by one by one. Your amazing humor level was absolutely over the top, and I died laughing every single time you came out with one of those PowerPoints. And that's the very second you came out with the first one, I was like, Mac, somebody I need to watch out for. And lo and behold, what was happening? Mac was sneaking by left and right. And as much as I was enjoying your presence, I was getting more and more scared of you by the minute.
The amount of times I would say in my prod chat, like week after week, I can't wait to win HOH and put up John. I can't wait to win HOH and backdoor John. Like that on repeat was like, I was getting a little frustrating. Now we'll go on to Vicky.
I'm gonna do a John here. I can easily say Alex because Alex and I have had a very, very similar game. But honestly, Sam kind of petrified me. And I said this since the beginning. I think I told this to like you. I was like, I'm terrified of Sam. He was just a really good player. And even though no, he didn't do yes, he did good at comps. He won. And he also just his connections. His connections is what really scared me. And him being able to like play with different people. But yeah, I've always been pretty scared of Sam and never knew like where to put him in my trust rankings. But yeah, I think Sam is my final answer. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to once again congratulate the both of you. You're both served, slayed, eaten this game. I'm very proud of the both of you, and we're gonna have a good winner no matter the outcome. You both slayed. So good luck to y'all.
Thank you, Mac.
Thank you, Mac. And then our last juror, because Allison cannot be here tonight, so our last juror is Alex. Alex, your time will start when you start talking.
What the hell is up, guys? I haven't seen you in so long. This is crazy. No, I'm gonna keep this short because I think I already have a very decent grasp on both of you guys' games, given I was with you guys the longest, and I've gotten I think all the information I need to. So I will just keep this short with a simple question. What do you guys think is the worst aspect of your games individually? Either one can go first.
I'm gonna go first. Honestly, not winning anything and feeling so powerless. Because even though I had like a really good social game, I still did not know where everybody's heads was at any given point in time. And me not being able to win anything and not being able to be like, I am going to do this and I am going to be able to do that. Like, I'm going to be able to make this move and put these two people on the block, and just never having the power to do that. I just felt so powerless. Yeah.
All right.
I would say it would be my ability to keep up the the one-on-one strategic relationships, because I was able to do it with the people that I was definitely felt good with, but was I able to do that with everyone? No. And is that biting me in the butt a little bit right now? Of course it is. But I also managed to make sure that I realized, well, these people also don't want to talk with me. So it's like I said, it's a two-way street. If you don't want to talk with me, why am I going to continuously reach out to people if they're not going to reach back?
Okay. Both very good answers. It's going to be an interesting fight to the death. I'm rooting for both of you, but of course, there can only be one winner. So congrats once again on making it here, and I will see you guys in a bit.
Okay, thank you, Alex. So that concludes the jury questioning portion of our night. As we get into closing speeches, which you will each have 10 minutes for. As we stated earlier, Vicky went first in opening, therefore John will go first in closing.
Quick question, you said 10 minutes or 7 minutes?
10. Oh, 7. You're right, 7.
Sorry, sorry, just clarifying that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sorry. Okay. So yes, I will start that off. Numbers are a huge part of my everyday. I am a math geek. I am always crunching the numbers to try and make sure which possible move is going to be the biggest strategical move for me going forward. I apologize for those that we weren't able to have these strong connections with, but for those that were actually talking with me, yes, we had some amazing, great times, and I had an absolute blast playing this game with everyone. Any move that I made, like I said before, was purely strategic. I made no move. Oh, sorry, there's just an accident that we're just trying to avoid. Okay, we're good. Oof. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We're on the turnpike going home. So just making sure that nobody was deathly hurt. Because it looked like somebody was up against the guardrail. But so anywho, sorry. So yes, going back from the beginning of the game, I realized, yes, that the very first vote, and Barton, I apologize, that wasn't a vote against you that I had made. Like I said before, it was a vote against Tanner, because Tanner was causing all of that chaos early on. And actually also keeping Keaton was going to possibly benefit me, because as we all know, Keaton can be the master of chaos. And if you keep chaos in front of you, other than behind you, you are going to have a much better game. I was able to only be put on the block 3 times, and I was taken down twice, one by my own doing, and then another by Allison. And then the other time that I was on the block, I received no votes. So going into this, I've received no votes against me going into this final tribal. But I hope to have some votes now to hopefully win this game, because I have played my ass off. I was not supposed to play this game. I was asked 3 days beforehand, hey, would you like to play? And as much as I was hemming and hawing, because I was hosting and I was playing another game at the same time, and I still am playing another game right now, I very much enjoyed being here and playing my ass off. I am never going to half-ass a game, and that is something you will always see from me. So even though, yes, I did win a bunch of comps, and I realized that from the first time that I played, because I played an under-the-radar game, and I actually survived the block 8 times the first time I played a Big Brother game, and nobody respected that. I realized that I needed to have power in my own hands in order to be able to solidify, to say, I made this move. And even though Vicky said, yes, she was able to control some votes, I was the one to be able to help sway the vote along with Casey and Mac to make sure that she was the one to stay instead of in the bloody hands round. I made sure that I knew exactly what people were thinking, whether it was regards to gameplay or just in general. I managed to show that I actually knew the jury from the two truths and a lie. A lot of those things that I was able to say wasn't actual guesses. I was able to actually just say based upon conversations that we've had. And I managed to get 5 out of the 8 of them, which I was thoroughly impressed because I normally suck at two truths and a lie. I'm a person that will never, ever give up till a bitter end. And that's what I showed from day one in this game. Even when the cards literally were against the table, I managed to build that house back up and show that I'm here to fight. Vicky, I love you, and we managed to do what nobody else could do, and we got to the end of the game. But I am here to win this game. I showed what I was able to do to win this game, and I apologize that my social game might not have been nearly as good as Vicky's, but my strategic game. You may say that my comp game was good, but my strategic game, I knew exactly what moves needed to be made and when to be able to help further myself along in this game. So thank you very much, everyone, and I hope everyone has an enjoyable spooky night.
Thank you, John. Vicky, floor is yours. Your time will start when you start speaking. You will have 7 minutes.
Throughout this game, I have shown not only that I am able to make good connections, but that I've also kept my word in a lot of things. It's not a fact that I needed help. It's a fact that I was able to get help. Everybody could have done what Nick did and just told me that I need to do it myself. But I was able to get people on my side so they could keep me. And I was able to talk to everybody and just have good enough conversations. And even though, yes, my physical game was not good, my strategical game was good. Because the thing is that even though I needed help by staying here, I also had power to sway people into voting a different way. If I really wanted to, we could have gotten Alex out, as Casey said, and voted for Sam to stay. If I really wanted to, I could have had the votes go a different way just because of my social game and of everybody that I was able to talk to. I'm proud of myself in the sense that I was able to not only keep relationships with people, but also open doors that I thought had previously been closed. With Michael, I came into this game really not knowing if we could work together just because of previous games, but I gave myself that opportunity to work with Barton, to be able to tell Barton, hey, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm keeping you. This is what game I want to play with you. And I was really able to just finalize a lot. I would not be sitting up here if it weren't for all of you. And I don't say that as like malice or anything, but honestly, each and every one of you has helped me stay longer, has helped me win. I didn't give up. John keeps saying about the cards and how he was able to complete them, and I am 100% with him. He was able to do something amazing, something that I gave up on, or something that I had to stop. And yes, he was able to push himself forward. But I tried my darndest. I did everything in my power that I could, and I stayed. I stayed for as long as I could, and I want to win this. I want to stay longer. And even though this is the end, this is final 2, that's it. I want this. I've played a good game. I've done what I had to do to stay. I was on the block 5 times, and 5 times I've only received 2 votes against me. One was a thrown vote, and the other one, I told the person straight to their face that I was okay. I'm proud of myself. I want to thank everybody here. This game really helped me through a lot and just gave me a moment to be able to step outside of myself. And to everybody on jury, on prod, I just want to say thank you. I want to do this for myself. And I think that's like the only selfish thing that I've done. So thank you again. You guys are amazing, fabulous, fantastic. Flurries of Funk feeling all the fan addicts. I really enjoyed playing with each and every one of you, and I did moves to not only prolong myself in this game, but to be able to be up here where I am right now. Cat. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Thank you both. And at this time, jury, I will give you until 40 after to vote if you have not yet voted to confirm votes and whatnot, and then be back with you then. Jury, you may go on camera and talk. Just do not talk about your votes or anything.
I thought votes were due tomorrow.
No, votes are due tonight. I said that in the jury chat.
Yeah, I had the same thing, but then I reread it and I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing everything tonight.
Oh, I don't know who to vote for.
Why if we not vote tonight?
If you don't know who
I
to
have
vote
seen
for,
some
don't
games
say
do
it
that,
out
but
loud.
it's like very rare these
That's
days.
wild.
I know CTC used to do that.
Heather
They-
just texted me shout outs. So shout out to Heather.
Shout out to Julia Rowe, Queen.
guys are
Shout out
back.
to. Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to the entire cast.
Shout out
to
my prod chat guests, Allie, Jen, and who else was in there? I forgot.
Oh, that's awkward.
Shit. It was Allie, Jen, and Max. Love Max. Yes, Allie, Jen, and Max. Love them all dearly. And also shout out to the amazing cast of Applause Best of Both Worlds. Love that cast. Love that group.
Great cast.
I want to shout out Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. Thank you. I will also like to shout out Karen because she's amazing, Zoe because she's amazing, Lyndon because she's amazing. Basically, everybody from CTC, everybody from EXP, everybody from Double Cross. I love Derek. If Derek could marry me, I would marry that man in a second. But since he can't, I will stay with my unrequited love. Thank you.
Hello. Are we shouting out people?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing. Yes.
Shout out to Sam, my final two in this game.
Shout out to Zach Shelley, who is mad that I did not shout him out before. Also, shout out Hypnotic Big Brother. If anyone watching what either wants to play a Big Brother game, or if anyone here wants to play another Big Brother game, applications. I don't know, but applications are open.
This is a Survivor game. What do you mean?
Oh, that's why I got screwed up.
I'll shout out to the BB Disney prod also, as BB Disney is still currently accepting apps for another couple weeks. And shout out to the Triumph prod team for dealing with me being half there during some of this season, missing some travels and whatnot.
Okay, I was just told to shout out this person, so shout out to Cam Icon, love him.
Love Cam. Personal shout out to every time I won a competition.
You won our hearts, Mac. I think that's.
And that's what matters.
I was gonna make a PowerPoint if I made finale.
Shout out to Tanner, the true star of the season.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Robbed.
Crack King. We loved it.
Robbed.
Tanner was robbed.
Tanner
by all
was.
of us.
Love Tanner.
Tanner's
Love
impact.
Okay, but if Tanner was
Tanner literally controlled the full narrative of week one.
Oh, he did. He did. No, Tanner set the tone for this game with how fucking chaotic it was going to be.
I don't think anybody saw that coming either.
No.
That was great. I loved that though.
That round one was iconic. I was like, well, what the fuck's gonna happen here?
And then you got me, who's like the co-HOH, and everyone's telling me all this shit, and I'm like, I'm just kind of chilling here. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Tanner's like setting all these fires.
That was like a nice little like thing in the back of my mind during that whole week. I was like, I wonder what Kevin thinks about all this.
Oh, literally, I was just chilling. I was like, oh my god,
I forgot about Kevin doing it.
Tanner's just being a mess.
Tanner's lighting fires and Kevin's just gone. He's not even in the same room.
Yeah, that was literally the thing to do, is watch all the fires just burn around you.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's great.
That's what Kevin does best.
Yeah.
If y'all think Tanner was unhinged in the game, wait till you get to the VL.
Oh.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Do I want to know?
Why is Buckley okay?
Because Buckley is our honorary.
They all have a prod chat. Disney, I'm convinced. Disney, CTC, and Experiment. I think it's actually been confirmed.
1000% true.
And they just rotate alternatives. I don't know. This is like his. So BP Disney is CTC's sister, right?
No,
maybe the wheel is CTC's brother.
No, I won.
Then what's EXP?
The whole sister brother org thing, like
EXP is a stepchild. Sorry,
I'm killing it. I don't even know. After 13, I just don't EXP. They're kicked out of the house. But
Disrespectful.
No. I won the first season, and basically, according to Timmy, I have dibs to come on to any of this whenever I want to. So like, I wanted to be here.
As you should. As
he should. And on that note, I have votes. Remember, you want to see your name. There are 9 jurors. It takes 5 votes to win. Are we ready?
Good luck, Vicky.
Good luck, John. You're amazing.
Okay. First vote, Vicky. Oh,
you can hardly see that.
Yeah, it's fine. Second vote, John. Oh, put down. Third vote, Vicky. Fourth vote, John. So we're tied 2-2. Fifth vote, Vicky. Sixth vote, John. Tied 3-3. Seventh vote, Vicky. Eighth vote, and the winner of Wheel of Terror, Vicky. The 9th vote is also for Vicky. Congratulations, Vicky. You have won by a vote of 6-3. Any words? The floor is yours.
Congrats, Vicky.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are amazing. I think all of you know this by now. John, honestly speaking, I thought that this was going to be another CTC moment where everybody was going to vote for you and I was going to have 0 votes. So I'm grateful for everybody sitting here, and yeah, you guys are you guys are amazing. No swearing on live stream. Thank you. What the fuck?
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for such an amazing season. I will stop this live stream before we get to awards because I'm just not doing all that on a recording.